we saw you, the world saw you, the nation saw you, all football fans saw you a day or so ago with the purple suit on, representing your new organization. Man, how excited are you to be a member of the Minnesota Vikings?
Man, very excited, Matt. Going there yesterday and seeing the facilities and getting to meet the GMs and just see how they operate as an organization. It's a blessing to be a part of something that has such first class. With the facility being pretty much brand new, got everything, any and everything that you could think of to keep the guys healthy and on the football field. They got it. So I'm excited to be back in the purple and gold. It's going to be an exciting season for me because, like I talked about, never thought I'd be playing for another team, but I am definitely going to make the best of this opportunity. And like I said, it should be fun.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned the colors. I had an opportunity to do an interview with one of the media outlets there in Minnesota on your regards when you signed with the team, and I said, you know what, dang. It's been such a long time since I seen Pat play in another color, but I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute, LSU, Minnesota, they got kind of the similar colors. And I can tell you this much, the last time my guy had on that purple and gold, he put up some big numbers. He did some big time things. So that would be ideal for yourself in the organization if you can go back and repeat some of this, or do some of the same things you did there in LSU in those colors with the Minnesota Vikings. But when you talk about the Minnesota Vikings, I think something that a lot of people would like to know, your fans, the Minnesota Viking fans, everybody wants to know what jersey number will Patrick Peterson be rocking this season? Do you have any idea? Can you give us an insight on your jersey number? Because a lot of people want to go get the jersey number. And also, too, with our logo, Pat P, we got to change your jersey on our logo for our podcast. So we need to know what number you're going to rock.
So, I'll let you know, Mac. I haven't really discussed any numbers just yet. I know my man Mike got Deuce one right now, so we'll see. We'll see.
I can tell you this much, Pat P. In my career, I rocked 20 throughout Pittsburgh, and then when I went to Arizona, I had to wear number 25. And upon me, before I got traded back to Pittsburgh, someone wanted 25 when I was in AZ. So there's always some business deals in place when it comes to a jersey number. So last question regarding your jersey number. I know 21 is dear to your heart, is dear to your soul. You rock that because of prime time. You wore that throughout your professional career up until this point. How important is number 21 to you? And would you be okay in wearing another number?
21 is important to me. I definitely would love to put the Deuce one on my back in another uniform. But if it comes down to it of me choosing another number, it won't be too big of a deal. We have to just see what's available, and whatever stick to my eye. But I tell you this, the number will be in the 20s.
You're not going to go at the 30s or the 40s?
Hell no. The numbers will be in the 20s, my guy.
And number 28 might be off limits. Adrian Peterson rocked that number, so I think.
I don't want to rock 28 anyway. That's a running back's number.
Okay, well, I can tell you this much. As soon as you find out what number you're wearing, make sure you let us know so we can get our logo, suited up and tight.
Hey man, just put me on. Just have Eric change me over, man. Put me on a suit and tie, man. Put me on a suit and tie.
We're gonna put you that. We'll give you that purple suit. We might give you that purple suit.
Yeah.
I was in communication with you leading up to you signing with the Minnesota Vikings, and it just happened fast, man. Personally, how did the deal come to be?
It did happen kind of fast. Throughout the process. But I just felt like everything matched. Everything, felt right. Just communicating with those guys, having an opportunity to talk to Coach Zim, before pulling the trigger. Rick, just seemed like unbelievable guys, and then having the opportunity to go there and see what they was telling me about, it was just the icing on the cake. Always, since Zim been there, this team has always been competitive, always had a top tier defense. Offense played unbelievable last year, not missing many pieces. I believe everybody on the offensive side of the ball is coming back. With Delvin having a big year last year. Last year defensively, there wasn't, where of Zim's standards, since he's been there. I think it was the highest ranking after his first year. I believe they ranked 15th, and they've been top 5 after that.
They had a lot of injuries on all three levels defensively.
So they got banged up a lot, and getting those guys back. D Hunt up front, just signing Tillman. I'm sorry, the D tackle
from the Giants,
Tomlinson.
Tomlinson.
Tomlinson. Then you have Anthony Barr. Hendricks. It just got a lot of talent across the board.
Harrison Smith back there in the secondary with.
Yeah, so we got a lot of talent across the board, and having Zim with his mastermind of how he's able to have his team more than prepared and ready to compete on Sundays. I wanted to be a part of it. So it seemed like a great fit for me. I know it's going to be a great fit for me. Love how aggressive they are on the defensive side of the ball. Still fit some of the things I like to do. So I'm excited, Matt. I'm excited, baby.
Hey, man, I saw you walk into the presser, man. They had the cookies laid out for you, man. You were smiling from ear to ear. So I can tell you're happy about your new team. Yeah. You know what I mean? And speaking of Zimmer and how defensive oriented he's been, has he give you a quick glimpse of how he sees how he plans on using your skill set in their defense? He's been known to be an aggressive play caller from time to time. And granted, you look at Andre Patterson and Adam Zimmer, they are the core defensive coordinators, but Coach Zimmer has his hand in play with the overall defensive concept as well. But have you heard anything about scheme-wise and how you will relate to their scheme?
No, we haven't talked any scheme just yet. Have an opportunity to get the playbook, learn some of the new terminology. Learning the base coverages and doing all those things. But we haven't really talked about any schemes or, my position on the field. But I know this, I will be there ready to compete, and ready to, when I start a job, if that's the case.
No question. Well, why a 1-year deal?
Hey, man, that cap go back up next year.
Try to get right back to the table, right?
Hey, man, why not? This is I said, it's going to be a great fit for me. I plan on having a great season. Why not go with a awesome defensive-minded coach that have his opportunity, that had his hand in the pot with great defensive backs? It's a pleasure for me to be a part of that long, successful list that he already has. So, like I said, man, that cap go back up, man.
So was that always the main thought process for you, signing something short, knowing the cap will be inflated next season, 2022 to be exact. And of course, that TV deal is going to inflate the cap tremendously. So was that always your thought process going into free agency, wanting to sign something short?
Yeah, if it wasn't with Arizona, I definitely was looking to sign a 1-year deal wherever it was going to be. Because like I said, my plan is to have an unbelievable year this year. Go out there and play the ball that I know how to play, and like I said, have a better opportunity of being better rewarded. Next off season, because like I said, it's going to be a bigger cap. This was a strange year, the lowest the cap has been in 10 years.
Yeah.
So it was a rough off season this year, as far as spending wise, but especially then also with me being 30, you know what I mean? So, teams are definitely, looking to, with Arizona at least, looking to get younger in a way. So, but like I said, I'm looking to have a big year this year. I feel good. I still feel like I'm, 25 years old, healthy is all I can be.
Yeah.
I'm just planning on a fireworks season, man.
Well, look here. I know the Cardinals definitely were trying to retain your services, but was there another team that was real close to signing Pat P?
There was a couple teams I was talking. It had some numbers and this, that, and the other, but I'd rather keep it in house.
Okay.
Other teams, but it was a couple of teams that was definitely interested in me coming in and trying to help that organization turn the corner.
Yeah, and upon you signing with the Minnesota Vikings, I remember it was about 2 weeks ago on one of our episodes. And for you first-time listeners and viewers, you can go out and check out, all our past episodes there in our feed, in the podcast format, and of course the YouTube format, to be able to be up to speed on everything that we've released as of late. But I remember you said, you wanted to be involved, that the team you signed with had to have a quarterback that can spin it. And I know how you feel personally about Kirk Cousins, because a few years ago, I remember you and Larry Fitzgerald was part of that recruiting team that was trying to get Kirk Cousins to come out to AZ. You remember here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I know personally how much you value Kirk Cousins. But when you signed with the Minnesota Vikings, there were a lot of fans that went back on that statement that you said here on our show. Well, Pat, you wanted a quarterback that can spin it, and you go to Minnesota. I mean, talk about the value that you see in Kirk Cousins, because there are a lot of fans that may be casual football watchers, but not really involved in the game, but felt like Kirk Cousins wasn't a quarterback that can really spin it, like you said, that would lead you to that team.
Right. Kirk has definitely been, receiving criticism, been receiving, all type of critics about his game, that he's not able to get over the hump. But you go back and look at the season he had last year when he had weapons around him, what he was able to do. I believe it was his best year throwing yardage wise throughout the air. Was very successful, leading a number 4 offensive team in the league. Consistently up and down the field. Having a consistent running back, being able to work that play action, because that's what Kirk is best at, play action, getting out of the pocket. I believe Kirk still, I know like 2 years ago, he was the best quarterback in percentage-wise, throwing, like rolling out. So when you have a good running back, a good running game, that opens up his some of the things that he do very well. So I think, if we're able to, on the defensive side of the ball, and if you look at this as well, over the last 5 years, except last year, they've been top 5 in defensive scoring. So in last year, there was, I can't remember how many points they averaged, but it was over 24 points. So if we're able to stop people, and I know that we are, if we, Lord, behold, that we're able to stay healthy throughout the season, we're going to be able to continue to get him the ball, and have clock management plays, run the ball, play action, take shots. That's how, Kirk Cousins, that's, is successful. And if we can have that same recipe that those guys had last year, was he not spending it last year?
He spent it. He was spinning it. He was spinning that tater skin, as they say. Yeah. And like you said, having a healthy supporting defense to help him takes pressure off the offense. And he's a playoff quarterback. He can get you definitely in the tournament. And, when you get into the tournament, anything can happen, but you just got to be able to get inside the tournament. When you look at Minnesota, they have so many different traditions. The prestige is there. How much did you know about the skull clap?
Man, honestly, I didn't know much about it, but let me see. My boy actually sent me this text about that. Let me see if I can pull it up. But it's something to do with drinking, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, a friendly expression used before drinking, and it shows friendship and companionship. So that's what I knew about. Actually, that's skull. That's what skull means.
Yeah, skull.
Why do Vikings say skull? So that's what skull means. It's a friendly expression.
Because they had them on the cookies for you also.
For drinking. Right. So yeah, it's a friendly expression used before drinking, and it shows friendship and companionship. Yeah. But the skull clap, talking about this right here, right?
Yeah, that's what they do in the stadium.
Yeah. Give me a little history about that, then, Matt.
Heck, I don't know. I thought you might have known.
Oh, just yet, but I will.
Hey, I thought you might have did some research already. I don't know. I just know they do that. And they do it's a chant. I think it's a chant when they do
like before kickoff.
Yeah, it's right before kickoff.
I know when we played there, man, in 2000. I think it was 2016, man. And when I say that place I think it was the first year the stadium opened
in the new stadium. Yeah,
ooh, that thing was rocking. They DJ. Mm-hmm. Oh man, he was rolling.
Hey, what's funny? how surreal will it be for you? During the season, we had Justin Jefferson on. He talked about how much he looked up to you. You talked about, man, seeing this kid, a 10-year-old kid around your LSU team. And now you guys are teammates. How exciting is that for you? Not to mention, you're gonna see a lot of him in practice. And you also got Adam Thielen that's gonna be able to give you some good work. But think about that opportunity that you have. Justin Jefferson, man, you remember him as a 10-year-old kid, Pat P. I know that kind of makes you feel old because think about that. Y'all on the same NFL team now.
Yeah, I know. So it's definitely going to be surreal when we obviously first meet up and go through OTAs and all that stuff. But, once we get in between the lines, man, it's all about getting better. It's all about pushing each other.
You had to school a young fella a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna show him a little bit of my tricks and trade, man. He might think he got me on a deep ball or something, and I'm gonna show him a little something. He gonna be like, man, how you do that?
Yeah,
but I can tell you this. It's gonna be fun though, for sure.
Hey, Pat P, I can tell you this much right here. I'm looking at the opponents for the Minnesota Vikings. So of course you have your divisional opponents. Yeah, the Bears twice a year, Packers, Lions. Twice a year. But when you look at the individual matchups that you probably will have, you're going to get Devontae Adams twice a year. You got DK Metcalf. You got Amari Cooper. You got Juju with the Steelers. You got OBJ with the Browns. Cincy, you got Tyler Boyd. Arizona, you got freaking DeAndre Hopkins. The Lions let go both of their top receivers, so we don't know exactly who they will have. Man, you got more from the Panthers, San Francisco. They got quite a few guys. You know what I mean? Not a feature guy like some other teams, but Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, that's some top level pass catchers.
Yeah, man. So I got to make the best of this.
No question. I can tell you this much: you talking about getting back to the table, but you got it there and put on for the city against those pass catchers.
Yeah,
you can name your price.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Allen Robinson. I forgot about Allen Robinson with the Bears.
Oh, yeah, with the Bears.
Man. Rams, you got Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. You know what I mean? So you got that too. They just got Jackson. I love Jefferson. I love Jefferson, the young kid from Florida. He can go. He can hoop. Man.
Oh, yeah, he can.
Woo-hoo. Yes, sir. Get your popcorn.